Welcome to this audiobook presentation of The Shadow Over Innsmouth by H.P. Lovecraft. This chilling tale was first published in 1936 and later appeared in Weird Tales in January 1942. H.P. Lovecraft, often regarded as one of the most influential writers of weird fiction, created a mythology of cosmic horror that continues to inspire readers and creators worldwide. His stories invite us into unsettling worlds where ancient beings and forgotten secrets lurk, just beyond the edges of human knowledge. In The Shadow Over Innsmouth, Lovecraft takes us to a decaying Massachusetts seaport steeped in secrecy and dread, with its haunting atmosphere, mysterious cults, and whispers of unnatural pacts. The story remains one of his most enduring works. Prepare to journey into a place where shadows linger, and the line between humanity and monstrosity blurs. Now, let us begin the narration. During the winter of 1927 to 1928, federal government officials made a strange and secret investigation of certain conditions in the ancient Massachusetts seaport of Innsmouth. The public first learned of it in February, when a vast series of raids and arrests occurred, followed by the deliberate burning and dynamiting, under suitable precautions of an enormous number of crumbling, worm-eaten and supposedly empty houses along the abandoned waterfront. Uninquiring souls let this occurrence pass as one of the major clashes in a spasmodic war on liquor. Keener news followers, however, wondered at the prodigious number of arrests, the abnormally large force of men used in making them, and the secrecy surrounding the disposal of the prisoners. No trials, or even definite charges were reported, nor were any of the captives seen thereafter in the regular jails of the nation. There were vague statements about disease and concentration camps, and later about dispersal in various naval and military prisons, but nothing positive ever developed. Complaints from many liberal organizations were met with long confidential discussions, and representatives were taken on trips to certain camps and prisons. As a result, these societies became surprisingly passive and reticent. Newspaper men were harder to manage, but seemed largely to cooperate with the government in the end. Only one paper, a tabloid always discounted because of its wild policy, mentioned the deep-diving submarine that discharged torpedoes downward in the marine abyss just beyond Devil Reef. That item, gathered by chance in a haunt of sailors, seemed indeed rather far-fetched, since the low, black reef lies a full mile and a half out from Innsmouth Harbor! But at last I am going to defy the ban on speech about this thing results. I am certain are so thorough that no public harm, save a shock of repulsion, could ever accrue from a hinting of what was found by those horrified raiders at Innsmouth. For my contact with this affair has been closer than that of any other layman, and I have carried away impressions which are yet to drive me to drastic measures. It was I who fled frantically out of Innsmouth in the early morning hours of July 16th, 1927. 27 and whose frightened appeals for government inquiry and action brought on the whole reported episode, I was willing enough to stay mute while the affair was fresh and uncertain. But now that it is an old story, with public interest and curiosity gone, I have an odd craving to whisper about those few frightful hours in that ill-rumored and evilly shadowed seaport of death and blasphemous abnormality.